When you're in loves, when you're in loves, when you're in loves, the whole world's delicious.
Have you ever made a pizza before?
Have you ever made a pizza
I
before?
have, yes, with my family.
Yes, I've done the same.
Yeah.
I usually help in a certain aspect of the pizza making, but this is a heavy lift for me.
Making sure the dough is correct seems like a real art.
Hi, I'm Will Ferrell,
And I'm Molly Shannon.
and we're here at the New York Times Cooking Studio Kitchen, and we're here to make pizzas. Yes, which I don't think has ever been done before.
Do you like to cook?
I do, I love to cook. I have a few entrees that I can make for my kids.
What are your go-to entrees?
Go-to entrees? Tacos I've gotten really good at. I can do a good Cornish game hen or roast chicken. And I'm also I make an excellent scrambled eggs with Gruyere cheese, sausage, onions, and it is delicious.
Oh my God.
Doesn't that sound good, Will?
Abundanza.
What about you?
Nope. None of the above. More of a sous chef, helping around. I can clean a countertop really effectively.
You're really neat, aren't you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Not when you were little.
Right.
Throwing your clothes around. Will. I'm really drawn toward pesto, of course. I feel like it makes everything so delicious.
Okay.
I love sausage. Parmesan, very good for the bones.
French fries, which are like a wrinkle cut. There's hot dogs over here.
Oh yeah, hot dogs.
Hidden behind the mustard. What about like a great classic dill?
Lonnie
pickle?
Hawkins would like that.
Lonnie eats a lot of dill pickles. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the rest we can just get out of here. Clear it. Molly, do you have a pizza oven at home by any chance?
Do you have a pizza oven? No.
Have you ever cooked with each other before today?
No, we haven't.
No.
Yeah.
It's our first time cooking together.
Yeah. I'm afraid you don't have enough.
Oh, thank you.
And then I feel like you always see chefs do something like this. For presentation.
I love how silly, Will, you are. Now the dough.
Now the dough.
So, oh my gosh, Will, you can.
Yeah, it's much lighter than you would think,
It
right?
really is. It feels so light and airy. I used to play a game with my kids when they were little. I'd be like, pizza pie.
Take it from me, on good authority, not allowed through TSA. A handful of times where I've had a ball of dough in my backpack and I forgot. Because I was gonna make pizza.
I knew
on the flight.
I met a magician who had all the tricks, magic that he would do with pigeons, and he told me he had like 6 pigeons and he got through TSA. He hides them under his coat. Can you believe that? This is a true story. I'm not gonna say his name, but
Don't.
they did not
But you'll
catch
tell
him.
me later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked in the food service industry?
Yes, I worked in the food service industry for years and years. I worked at a place called Cravings, and people loved the grilled lemon chicken salad at the restaurant.
Yeah, didn't people would shout at you?
They'd be like, grilled lemon chicken salad. They associated me with a good salad because I was the hostess at the restaurant.
Hey, grilled chicken lemon salad, what's up? I never worked in the food industry. I never waited tables because I just knew I'd be immediately fired. I don't have the executive functioning skills to like keep track of.
Oh, I think you would be good. I had a friend who waited tables, John Regi, and he told me he was not a good waiter. He had to serve them like a French onion soup, and back in the kitchen, he took a taste of the French onion soup, and then he brought the French onion soup to the table and was like, here you go, trying to act really professional. And he had still had the string cheese attached to his mouth. So they got it, and they looked up, and it was attached. Can you imagine?
That's
Isn't that
definitely
funny?
a healthcare violation.
Yes.
I'm just putting a little tomato sauce here to start.
Will, you co-created The Hawk with your longtime friend Harper Steele. Were there any elements of your friendship that she put into the show?
I think she infused just, I think, a long time working relationship, knowing how to specifically write for my voice and adapting perfectly to the tone of what we were doing. She can kind of write anything.
This is fun. It's funny.
I went with the mozzarella.
I think I'm gonna use a little of this. I'm the type of person when I am cooking, I really like to concentrate. I wish I was the type of person that's like, talking, but I have to really focus because I'm not a naturally good chef.
What if we didn't talk like the rest of the interview? Because we're so serious about our pizzas. What if we kept going, hold please.
I don't think the New York Times would like that.
Molly, what was your favorite dish from Delicious Dish?
Delicious dish, well, that would be the sweaty balls, of course. Wow, Will, yours looks really good.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm putting on some, well, now I may have ruined it.
If you're in a grocery store and you're hungry, what are you putting in your cart?
I love salt and vinegar Lay's potato chips. They're great for the voice because they help clear the throat.
Really?
Salt and vinegar potato chips before I do voice work, yeah. And pineapple has bromelain, it clears the mucus. How about that, Will?
Whoa.
Good tricks.
Yeah, really good tricks. I just look for a fresh head of cabbage and I'll just eat it like an apple throughout the market. Just a bite of cabbage as I'm walking and shopping. I usually finish a whole head of cabbage before, and I don't have to pay for it.
Would you ever open up the food while you're shopping at the grocery store and eat it?
No.
Before you paid?
But I remember, I have memories of my mom doing that as a kid. I thought that was so indulgent to already
Ferrell.
have a bite before you even pay for it. Crazy. What do you do? Oh, you're doing Parmesan.
Wow, I want to get one of these. This is amazing. I have a cheese grater, but not like a knife style cheese grater. Yeah.
So Will, your character mentions a lot of American chain restaurants throughout the season. Is there a reason for this?
Lonnie's not a very fancy guy. You know, Lonnie's a man of the people. He'd rather live on his tour bus and hang out and meet the common folk at a Walmart. I mean, the only thing that's slightly exotic about him is that he enjoys a chilled glass of white wine, preferably something from the Willamette Valley. He likes to repeat that a lot. But I don't think he knows where the Willamette Valley is, which is in Oregon. A lot of wines come out of Oregon.
Interesting.
Willamette Valley.
Oh, okay.
Do you each have a favorite chain restaurant?
I used to go to Sizzler a lot when I was in college, and I thought it was delicious.
There was a place in LA growing up as a kid that I really wanted to go to. I don't think I ever went to before it went bankrupt, but it was called Love's, and it was a rib place. And they had these beauty shots of ribs in the commercial, and it had this baritone singer who would sing this song. When you're in loves, when you're in loves, when you're in loves, the whole world's delicious. I used to just, I thought, God, I want to go to Love's. I guess that doesn't answer the question. I haven't added anything to my pizza in a really long time because I'm really happy with it. I don't want to do anything.
I put pesto, sausage, Parmesan cheese, ricotta, and a little bit of garlic.
I put pepperoni, the prosciutto, the black olives, mushrooms, some cherry tomatoes, and the mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
And then, you guys weren't looking, but I put a little bit of toothpaste on my pizza.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah, just hope
This is
I'm trying
so
to be a
fun.
good.
Oh my gosh, that was fun. Yeah.
I know that in Napoli, the home of pizza, for good luck, you put a red onion right in the center. Did you know that?
No.
And then you go like this.
Should we put in the water first?
Oh, into here. Mixing this into the flour dough starter. I mean, sourdough, not flour dough. You're the best flour dough, sorry. You're the best, it's like I'm drunk. You're the best sourdough starter in the world.
Yeah.
You're adorable.
You want us to make a confession? Do you have a confession?
Yes, I do. Don't take this the wrong way, but I hate sourdough.
Oh, sourdough starter. I feel terrible. But when I was in high school, I borrowed the L encyclopedia and I didn't return it on time, and they made an announcement in front of the school when it got secretly returned, like somebody has returned the L encyclopedia. I felt terrible.
Sourdough starter, I once robbed a liquor store in high school. It was only like $27, but.
What did you get?
What do you mean? I got $27. Yeah.
Did you really, Will? You did? Sourdough starter, I did. shoplift when I was a teenager.
I shoplifted once too.
You did?
Please forgive us, sourdough starter. Closing it up. Okay, I'm gonna give you your own space right here.
Look, they look so good. Yum.
Nice, Molly.
Ooh, it looks so good. I know, doesn't it? It's very thick though. Will, yours looks good.
Oh, look at this.
Wow, yours is good. I think I'll add a little basil. That sounds so good. I love basil.
Why not?
Oh, I meant to say too, I make a really good pesto.
I'm really happy. I mean, mine looks more
Professional.
yeah.
Yours does look, even though I'm more of a cook.
Yeah.
Will.
If you were to open a restaurant, who of your former S.N.L castmates would you hire and what would their roles be?
I would
Yeah,
hire
start
Will
with me.
for sure, and then Tim
You don't
Meadows.
have to hire me if you don't.
I want to, yeah, because you would be keeping me. Tim Meadows as a bartender, maybe Anna Gasteyer, because she's a
Yeah,
very
Anna's very
good cook, and maybe Rachel Dratch as the hostess.
Yeah, I would hire Anna. Chris Kattan, I feel like
Chris Kattan.
he'd be silly all the time. Keep it light in the
Yes.
kitchen, because the kitchen's a high stress environment.
Yeah.
If you've watched The Bear. But don't, watch The Hawk. Please, let's not get off topic.
If you were a food dish, what would you be? And can you answer for each other?
I think Molly would be a chocolate souffle. Because it's elegant. You have to be very precise with it because you don't want the souffle to fall. And they're very sweet, like Molly.
Oh, that's so sweet. I think I would have Will be a delicious, crispy baked potato because it's my favorite food, and it would be crispy on the outside with butter, salt, because you're very salty,
Sometimes.
and sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Sour
just
cream?
sour
chives?
cream, chives, bacon, and then it's also something Lonnie Hawkins loves to eat too, with his steak and his glass of Sauvy B.
Right.
Mine looks a
Well,
little. What do you
it doesn't
think?
look that good, Molly. It's not gonna-
Mine looks a little thick. Will, yours looks so good.
I know,
I am
somehow-
so impressed with your pizza.
Even a blind nut can find a squirrel every now and then. I mean, a blind squirrel can find a nut. What's going on with me?
Mine tastes delicious.
You mind if I try yours?
No. Can I try yours?
Yours is pretty good.
Good.
Molly's
like
is
mine more.
surprisingly tasty. Thank you, New York Times Cooking. This has been a wonderful experience.
Wonderful, Will.
Great job, Molly.
I love cooking with you.
The feeling's mutual. Please watch The Hawk, which is now streaming on Netflix.
You will not be
You
disappointed.
will not be disappointed.
And you're gonna win $1 million.
Lucky, one lucky subscriber.